Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, members of the media. I'd like to say good morning to our guests, our party political leaders represented here today, city officials, our esteemed mayoral committee, our city manager, members of the mayor's office, and members of the media. Good day. Lovely to have you here with us this morning. I'm sure you're all aware about what this briefing is about. On the 30th of October, we convened you all here today to sketch out what our 100 days program would be for service delivery in the city and the recovery of the city. So this is the conclusion of that day period, and we will be here to outline some of the successes and celebrate some of the successes and sketch out some of the challenges that we faced over the 100-day period. And we will look forward to having your questions and answers after the executive mayor makes her address on behalf of the multi-party mayoral committee before us today. With that said, I am Samgelo Mgobozi. I will serve as your program director for this evening's proceedings. Many of you I've met before. We know how we like to do things. I like to keep things nice and tight. So we'll have the mayor make her formal remarks, and then after that we will have a question and answer session, which I will chair. And during that session, you will direct your questions to the executive mayor or any of the MMCs you see before you today. And we're lucky to have our accounting officer, city manager, Johan Medler, with us this morning. Without any further ado, executive mayor, over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, let's apologize for the delayed start. We wanted to just make sure that everyone was in the venue before we got started, so we do sincerely apologize for the late start. Secondly, we must apologize. It's going to be a lengthy submission on our part. We didn't want to take anything for granted, and while we're going to share with you the comprehensive report of our 100 days in office, but we also wanted to be the ones that are announcing on it as well. So please, in advance, bear with my lazy voice. I would like to acknowledge the Deputy Executive Mayor, the Honorable Speaker of Council, the members of the Mayoral Committee, Section 79 Committee Chairpersons, the City Manager, the officials of the city, most importantly, our political leaders that are present here, the members of the media. We continue to thank you for always heeding our call. When we ask you to come and be the mouth between ourselves and the residents, you always respond, and we always appreciate that. But this morning, I do want to acknowledge and greet the residents of Tshwane, the people that are the reasons why we wake up every morning and do the best that we can. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. On 30th October last year, the multi-party mayoral committee stood before you and made ambitious commitments to the residents of Tshwane. We pledged to improve services in all communities, to strengthen governance, and to build a capital city that we can all be proud of. Today, we stand before you to account for the work we have done over the 100 days, to share the progress we have made, and to outline how this foundation will guide the priorities for the remainder of our term in office. We were under no illusions about the challenges that lay ahead. While we do not wish to dwell on the past, it is important to acknowledge the difficult circumstances that we have inherited. The city's budget has been unfunded for several years, meaning there is insufficient income to cover expenses, including the provision of basic services and capital investments. Tshwane's debt stood at over 11 billion rand, with 6.76 billion owed to Eskom alone. The demand for capital investment over the next decade exceeds 65 billion rand, yet the city's current annual capital budget is only 2.3 billion rand. At this rate, it will take us 36 years to meet the 10-year demand. Chronic underinvestment in repairs and maintenance left the city's aging infrastructure vulnerable to frequent breakdowns, leading to weekly power and water outages for residents. vandalism and criminal activities such as cable theft and illegal connections placed an additional strain on our infrastructure and further reduced the city's ability to provide reliable services. The city was in a state of neglect, with dirty streets, failing infrastructure, and significant disparities in service delivery between affluent areas and townships and informal settlements. The contrast between affluent suburbs like Waterkloof and the impoverished areas like Winterveld remains deeply troubling. This inequality is compounded by unemployment, with over 34% of the city's over 4 million residents struggling without the dignity of work. Finally, many residents felt neglected and disengaged from the work of government, having lost faith in our ability or willingness to improve their daily lives. Over the past 100 days, we have worked to address these challenges head on. While we recognize that we have not met all our targets, we have made meaningful progress and, most importantly, laid a strong foundation for the changes still to come. The report we are presenting today demonstrates the work that has been done. It also provides an honest assessment of where we must do better. At the outset of this 100-day plan, we committed to focusing our efforts on 6 key priorities. The first one being the financial stability, the second one, economic revitalization, third one being infrastructure development, fourth one, equitable basic service delivery and a clean city, fifth one, bylaw enforcement and urban safety, and the last one, bringing government closer to the people. Each of these priorities represents a critical pillar in restoring Tshwane's ability to function as a world-class capital city, one that delivers services fairly and efficiently, fosters economic growth, and improves the lives of all those who call the city of Tshwane their home. As we reflect on the past 100 days, it is clear that we still have much work ahead. However, the progress we have made so far gives us confidence that we are on the right path. Today is not just a reflection on what has been achieved, but a commitment to what still needs to be done. As I continue with the reflections, I will start with the financial stability. Restoring the city's financial stability has been our top priority, as no municipality can effectively deliver services without the necessary financial resources. The good news is that our efforts are yielding results, and we believe we are now on track to present a fully funded budget for the new financial year, an important milestone for the city of Tshwane. Central to our financial recovery has been improving revenue collection. We set ourselves an ambitious target of collecting 4 billion rand per month. While we have not yet achieved this target, we have consistently achieved an average monthly revenue collection of 3.3 billion rand a month. This progress is particularly encouraging given that December and January are historically difficult months for revenue collection due to the financial pressures associated with the festive season. Importantly, our revenue collection from November to January exceeded the same period in the previous year. We have also surpassed focused collections for the current financial year by over 500 million rand to date. In real terms, this means that with each passing month, the city is becoming stronger in its ability to provide basic services to more residents. To ensure fairness and accuracy in our billing system, we have prioritized moving away from estimated billing to actual meter readings. Residents have a right to be billed on actual consumptions, not estimates, and this shift is essential in building trust and ensuring that ratepayers are treated fairly. We had set ourselves a target of 95% of all residents and businesses being billed based on actual readings. I am pleased to report that we have reached 90%. With continued focus, we are confident that we will achieve the 95% before the end of the financial year. Managing the city's debtors book also remains a priority. We are taking a two-pronged approach. The first one is that of classifying the debt book to differentiate between a recoverable and irrecoverable debt, allowing us to focus resources on the areas with the greatest return on investment. We now understand in terms of our classification that our debtors book that has increased from 26 billion to 29 billion is made up of the residential debt, which is at 15.8 billion, indigent households at 2.6 billion, business at 6.75 billion, government at 1.79 billion, and we have inactive accounts to the tune of 1.75 billion. The second approach to our debtors book is that we must strengthen our credit control measures to address non-payment among those who can afford to pay for our services. Over the past 3 months, we issued over 242,000 final notices for outstanding debt, which generated 285 million rands in cash. We also effected over 66,000 disconnections. We set a target of maintaining at least 50 million rand in cash reserves per month. As of January 2025, our cash reserves stand at 368 million rand, more than the 100% that we have set for ourselves. This financial cushion is critical in ensuring that we have contingency funds to respond to unforeseen challenges. We have also made significant progress in managing our creditor obligations, particularly addressing our debt to Eskom. Since taking office, we secured an agreement to ring-fence the historic debt of 6.67 billion. This arrangement prevents the debt from accruing further interest, provided that we maintain payments on our current account. I'm pleased to report that we have successfully honored this agreement, and the historic debt has been reduced from 6.76 billion to 6.1 billion to date. This is a crucial step in stabilizing the city's finances and ensuring a reliable electricity supply for businesses and households alike. Our financial discipline has improved our liquidity outlook from 0.57 in October 2024 to 0.81 in January 2025. We are on track for one liquidity outlook with the support of a funded budget and a continued financial management. Our commitment to financial stability extends beyond the revenue collection and debt management. We are also determined to improve the city's audit outcomes and governance practices. The Auditor General of South Africa recently released its findings for the 2023-2024 financial year. The report reflects a stagnation in the city's audit outcomes, with Tshwane receiving a qualified audit opinion for a second consecutive year. To address these issues, we have introduced a comprehensive audit outcome remedial action plan. This plan is designed to tackle the root causes of the audit findings and bring about lasting improvements. A key element of this plan is our collaboration with AGSA. The city has formally requested AGSA to conduct an official audit review of the corrective measures we have implemented by 31st March 2025. This will ensure that we fully address the qualification areas that the Auditor General has noted, and make sure that the AGSA has confidence in our financial reporting ahead of the 2024-2025 audit process. The AGSA also flagged lack of consequence management as a concern, and we are pleased to report on the ongoing forensic investigations and disciplinary actions, with the following key outcomes reported. Of the 180 forensic investigations that have been concluded, they have resulted in 129 cases where disciplinary action is recommended against employees. Secondly, 39 cases have been referred for criminal prosecution, 48 cases identified for financial recoveries. Secondly, 3.6 billion in unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure was investigated in Q2 of the financial year, with findings now being processed by the Municipal Public Accounts Committee for action. 67 officials have been dismissed following due disciplinary processes, while 31 officials have received final written warnings. 70 cases have been referred to the Financial Disciplinary Board for the first time. Such referrals have been made, further strengthening financial oversight mechanisms. We have also strengthened oversight mechanism through regular audit steering committee meetings chaired by the CFO and the Executive Audit Tracking Committee meetings, which I chair. These structures ensure that financial governance remains a top priority and that we track our progress with clear accountability. The financial recovery of Tshwane will not be achieved overnight, but the progress we have made in the first 100 days demonstrates that we are on the right path. The second priority that we have committed on was the economic revitalization. Economic revitalization has been a key focus of the multi-party mayoral committee over the 100 days, with a strong emphasis on fostering investment, supporting businesses, and creating job opportunities for Tshwane residents. One of key deliverables has been the development of a comprehensive economic revitalization strategy aimed at strengthening support for SMMEs, improving the ease of doing business, and accelerating growth of the township economy. As part of this strategy, we've already introduced several key interventions. One of the most significant milestones have been the launch of a VIP service line for the city's top 200 business clients. This initiative ensures a fast and responsive approach to service delivery issues affecting major businesses and investors in Tshwane, reducing bureaucratic delays and fostering a more efficient business environment. To streamline development approvals, particularly in the construction sector, we have successfully reduced the turnaround time for building plan approvals. This improvement is further supported by the new application processing system, which is an automated online planning and land use application system designed to modernize and accelerate the approval process. The city has also prioritized critical infrastructure investment to support key industries, particularly the automotive sector in Roslyn and the Waterloo industrial zones. A key example is the Roslyn and the N4 power line substation upgrade, which started in November. Both are critical in ensuring a stable and reliable power supply for this high-growth industrial hub. This project underscores the city's commitment to creating an enabling environment for manufacturing and industrial expansion. Inner city rejuvenation has also been a key priority for the 100 days. The administration has intensified efforts to clean up and rejuvenate Tshwane's inner city, focusing on bylaw enforcement, increased policing, and the removal of illegal dumping sites and activities. To tackle the issue of abandoned and hijacked buildings, we have established a mayoral subcommittee on bad buildings, which will play a central role in reclaiming neglected properties and repurposing them for private sector-led mixed-use development. One such example is the recent handover of Schubert Park to the Zoseletso Consortium, which has committed over 1 billion rand to redevelop the site into a vibrant mixed-use development, including 1,300 affordable housing units and commercial spaces. This project serves as a model for how the city can work with the private sector to repurpose neglected buildings into functional spaces and benefit both businesses and residents. Lastly, the city took a decisive action in response to the foodborne illness crisis that tragically claimed the lives of children across South Africa. Tshwane became the first metro in South Africa to launch an online portal for the registration of spaza shops and food handling businesses following a directive from the President on 15 November 2024. This registration process was introduced to improve regulatory oversight and food safety standards in the informal food sector. Initially set with a 21-day registration deadline, which was later extended to the end of February 2025. The initiative has already received 4,109 applications, with 54% from South African citizens and over 1/3 from women-owned businesses. Beyond the immediate crisis response, the city is also implementing long-term regulatory reforms to formalize and strengthen the informal economy. Public participation on the draft Informal Trading and Township Economy Bylaw 2024 will be initiated following its approval in late 2024. This bylaw was prioritized to incorporate the standard draft bylaws for township, village, and rural economies, aligning Tshwane's regulatory framework with national and provincial efforts to enhance compliance, strengthen consumer safety, and create a structured, well-regulated informal trade sector. And on the side of Tshwane, our bylaw also have a provision to ensure we reserve the sector, which is informal trade sector, for Tshwane residents first. The third priority is infrastructure development. Ensuring safe, reliable infrastructure is the foundation of our ability to deliver essential services to Tshwane's residents. Over the past 100 days, we have taken critical steps to improve water, electricity, and roads infrastructure, acknowledging the pressing challenges the city faces in these areas. Our administration took office at a time when Tshwane, like much of Gauteng, was facing a severe water crisis. The situation had required urgent interventions on multiple fronts to stabilize supply, improve infrastructure, and protect water security for the future. One of the most significant achievements have been the progress made in addressing Hammanskraal water crisis in partnership with Magalies Water and National Department of Water and Sanitation. In January 2025, Phase 1 of the Magalies Klipdrift water treatment plant upgrade was completed, which now delivers 12.5 megaliters of treated water per day to 4 wards in Hammanskraal. This represents a short-term emergency intervention to improve water quality and ensure immediate relief to affected communities. It is important that we continue to monitor the project so that we can meet the deadline of June 2025, in which all the areas that are affected by the dysfunctional Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant can be supplied with clean and drinkable water. At the same time, we cannot only rely on the intervention project. We have accelerated efforts to deliver a long-term solution through the refurbishment of the Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant. Working with the DBSA as our implementing agent, Phase 1 of the project has now been concluded ahead of schedule, which allows us to bring forward Phase 1B by 5 months. Originally planned for September 2025, Phase 1B will now begin in March 2025, with the full project expected to be completed by June 2026. Beyond Hammanskraal, we've also tackled long-standing water supply challenges in Lodiam, Atteridgeville, and Soshanguve, where many communities have faced persistent outages due to failing infrastructure for several years. Supply to the Mamelodi Reservoir has been significantly boosted, and we are taking strong action to address illegal connections at the Mabopane main reservoir, which have placed additional strain on the system. While we are encouraged by this progress, we acknowledge that much work remains to be done in communities such as Ikageng and Bronkhorstspruit, which continue to experience severe water challenges. The city also continues to confront aging electricity infrastructure, persistent load reduction, and rampant vandalism. One of the most significant challenges we face is criminal syndicates that target electricity infrastructure, as demonstrated by the recent attempted heist at the Claudia substation, which involved a criminal network that included a city employee. Despite these setbacks, our administration has prioritized key upgrades to improve electricity supply. Alongside the Roslyn and the N4 power line substation upgrades, which supports industrial development, we've also fast-tracked critical upgrades to the IA substation to resolve power supply issues in Soshanguve. For far too long, Soshanguve residents have suffered from unreliable electricity supply due to a failure to invest in maintenance and to address illegal connections. We are working hard to change this by ensuring that investment in electricity infrastructure benefit law-abiding citizens and businesses rather than being lost to theft and sabotage. Ladies and gentlemen, when we took office, we made a commitment to prioritize quality service delivery that serves all communities across Tshwane. Hence, the fourth priority, which was to ensure equitable basic service delivery and maintain a clean city. For too long, many residents have felt neglected, experiencing unequal access to basic services, particularly in townships, informal settlements, and rural areas. We cannot allow a situation where some residents of our city live without dignity, lacking access to essential services. Addressing this inequality remains a driving motivation of this administration. Over the past 100 days, we have focused on addressing key service delivery backlogs and accelerated maintenance programs to ensure that infrastructure is restored and functional. One of our most important interventions has been improving public lighting to enhance safety and security. In this period, we have repaired 21,285 street lights. We have restored 291 HIMARS lights against a target of 200 that we've set for ourselves. We have also commissioned 19 new HIMARS lights in strategic areas to improve visibility and deter crime. Additionally, 336 LED street lights were installed in Region 1 and Region 6, surpassing our initial target of 300. These LED lights are significant because they don't only help us to improve street visibility, but also reduce power consumption, saving the city money in the long term. Road infrastructure has also been a major focus area. From an inherited backlog of 692 potholes, we have successfully repaired 687, achieving a 99% reduction on the inherited backlog. Reopening of the city's Bonaccord asphalt plant with a 5-year license has allowed us to ramp up our repair work, ensuring that potholes are addressed faster and road networks remain safe for motorists and pedestrians. Furthermore, we have resurfaced 16-kilometer stretch of roads in Garangua, improving mobility and road conditions in these areas. We have also started fixing Jackies Road in Winterveld after years of this road being unusable to motorists. The city is also making strides in improving water and electricity delivery. A total of 2,100 meters of water pipelines have been replaced, significantly enhancing water distribution and reducing leakages and our water losses. On the electricity fronts, 3,207 smart prepaid meters have been installed, improving billing accuracy and energy management. These meters allow residents to better monitor their electricity use while also enabling the city to reduce billing discrepancies and improve revenue collection. Additionally, the city's efforts to reduce electricity losses have shown positive results, with losses dropping from 22.78% to 20%. This improvement reflects enhanced management, better enforcement against illegal connections, and greater efficiency in energy distribution. On the waste collection front, we continue to roll out targeted interventions to improve waste management. Illegal dumping sites have been cleared across all 7 regions, and 198 fines were issued to deter further illegal dumping. Our weekly Ria Spanner operations, launched to bring government closer to the people, have engaged communities in cleanup campaigns and promoted a culture of community involvement in keeping the city clean. Through these interventions, the city is laying a strong foundation for a cleaner, safer, and more service-driven capital city that every resident can be proud to call home. Our 5th priority was to ensure and strengthen bylaw enforcement. Law and order form the foundation of this multi-party administration. And over the past 100 days, we have intensified bylaw enforcement efforts under the Reclaim Our City campaign. Through a multidisciplinary approach, we have stepped up enforcement operations across the city, targeting illegal activities, improving compliance, particularly in the inner city and business districts. The Tshwane Metro Police Department has been conducting daily enforcement operations, supported by weekly joint operations with national enforcement agencies. These efforts have shown significant results, ensuring that businesses and residents comply with municipal bylaws. As part of the city's commitment to ensuring law and order, the TMPD undertook extensive crime prevention and enforcement operations throughout the festive season, aligning the 100-day target period. These operations focused on high visibility policing, road safety, enforcement, and crime prevention intervention in key areas across the city. During this period, an average of 809 officers with 166 vehicles were deployed during the day shift, while 334 officers with 57 vehicles operated at night, ensuring around-the-clock law enforcement presence. Significant arrests and enforcement actions were carried out, including 57 individuals who were arrested for drunken driving, 181 pedestrians apprehended for endangering public safety by crossing roads unlawfully, 46,496 RTO notices issued for various traffic violations, 28,381 vehicles searched, and 37,600 vehicle inspections conducted, ensuring compliance with safety regulations. 22,316 individuals searched as part of crime prevention efforts, resulting in multiple arrests. Bylaw enforcement also remained a priority, with 2,445 bylaw fines issued for offenses such as illegal trading, non-compliant businesses, and public nuisance violations. Additionally, TMPD intensified its crackdown on unroadworthy illegal operated vehicles, impounding 1,350 non-compliant vehicles, including unlicensed public transport taxis, unregistered delivery bikes, and illegally operating tuk-tuk taxis. Since November 2024, a total of 48 large-scale enforcement operations have been carried out. These operations focused on food safety compliance, the regulations of spaza shops, and the crackdowns on unsafe trading practices. As a result, 1,018 spaza shops were inspected, 1,000 non-compliant businesses were fined. Beyond business compliance, our teams have also clamped down on illegal utility connections and environmental offenses. Over the past 100 days, 38 operations were conducted to disconnect illegal water and electricity connections. 323 operations targeted illegal dumping. These actions demonstrate this administration's commitment to restoring order, upholding municipal bylaws, and ensuring the safety and well-being of Tshwane residents. By continuing to prioritize visible policing and enforcement operations, we aim to build a safer, cleaner, and law-abiding city for all. The last priority was bringing government closer to the people. This administration is committed to meaningful engagement with residents, ensuring that the voices of communities across Tshwane are heard, and that government remains accessible, transparent, and responsive. Over the past 100 days, we have actively prioritized direct interaction with the residents, holding 13 imbizos across all 7 regions, covering urban and rural areas, townships, and suburbs. The following communities were visited: Garangua, Hammanskraal, Soshanguve, Oliven, Centurion, Nkangala, Refilwe, Nelmapias, Waterkloof, Atteridgeville, Gomorrah Informal Settlement, the Rooiwal Farmers, and informal traders. In addition to in-person engagements, we recognize the growing importance of digital platforms in modern governance. A significant milestone has been the dramatic increase in resident interaction on social media, with engagements rising from 36,104 in December 2024 to 84,119 in January 2025. This surge highlights the need for a more responsive and proactive approach to digital communication as part of a broader integrated customer relations management strategy. To further improve accessibility, particularly in underserved communities, the city has embarked on a process to reconfigure its walk-in centers. This initiative involves categorizing these centers into mega, satellite, and remote centers, with the goal of standardizing service delivery and ensuring that all residents, regardless of location, can access municipal services with ease. Finally, as part of our commitment to modernizing service delivery, a new municipal act is in the final stages of development. Once launched, this app will enable residents to log service requests, track their progress, and access billing information, bringing essential services to residents' fingerprints. Fellow residents, as I conclude, it is clear that while we have made significant progress over the past 100 days, our work is far from over. This report marks the beginning of our journey, not the end. The foundation we have laid will serve as a springboard for deeper, more sustained improvements in service delivery, infrastructure, financial stability, and communication engagement. We recognize the challenges that remain, but we are committed to the path ahead. In the coming weeks, we will table our first adjustment budget, which will provide another opportunity to refine our priorities and direct resources towards the areas that need urgent intervention. Beyond this, we are also working on the 2025-2026 annual budget, where our clear objectives is to present a fully funded budget that prioritizes tangible service delivery. We are under no illusion about the scale of the task before us. The road to recovery and transformation is not an easy one, but I'm confident that we will succeed. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the multi-mayoral committee, the multi-party mayoral committee, for their hard work, dedication, enthusiasm that they bring to the work. That without your support, none of this would have been possible. But we also want to look to our political leaders who have trusted us with this task to say we wish to continue on the path to rescue this city for its residents in a way that makes you proud. A special thank you to the city manager and his team of officials who have worked alongside us to begin turning the city around. Your support has been invaluable, City Manager, and we look forward to building on the progress we have made together. To the frontline workers and city employees, the foot soldiers of this administration, your dedication and commitment to improving lives of Tshwane residents does not go unnoticed. The achievements we present today belong to all of us. And finally, to the residents of Tshwane, thank you for your patience and trust as we work to restore the capital to its rightful status. We remain committed to ensuring that Tshwane lives up to its name as the administrative and economic heart of South Africa. I firmly believe that by working together, we can build a city we are all proud of, a city that is cleaner, safer, and better for all who live and work here. Thank you so much.